Hello and welcome to DVxUI. Today on this channel, we are going to create this animated hero section in Figma. So let me show you the part that is animated. So if I take my cursor and hover over this circle, it will start moving. And if I take it out, something like this, it will go back to its original position. So in this one, we are going to learn how can we make this using Figma. So let's start. Alright, before starting the designing part, it is important that we understand this screen. So over here, I have the pages. I'm working on the YouTube, that's why it is highlighted. Then over here, I have the layers. If I double click over here, I will find this resources frame over here. And inside it, I have this picture which I got from the Pinterest and some logos that I'm going to be using and the colors which is going to be utilized in the hero section. And on the right, you will find, since I have selected this frame, I have few options that can help me in changing the appearance of this frame. Let me demonstrate by using a rectangle. So take a rectangle, drop it over here, make it large. And now if I want to provide corner radius, I can write 500 over here. And now the corner radius will be provided, something like this. Now let me delete this since you have learned the right panel. Now to start designing that hero section, first of all we need a frame. You can either hit A on your keyboard or you can hit F key on your keyboard, or also you can go to this icon to find this menu, and among them inside this desktop I'm going to select this one, which is desktop frame. Alright, so the frame is over here, but it is pretty small. Or I must say, we are zoomed out. So we need to zoom in. So to perfectly zoom in, what we can do is, we can use Shift and 2. In this way, it will be zoomed to perfect. And if you observed, if I press a shortcut key, it will appear over here. So that you will know what shortcuts I'm using. So now I have my frame over here. Now let's start styling it first. So first of all, we need to provide a background color to this frame. So for that, we will go over here, and for this color which is currently white, I'm going to write 00, which is going to take 6 zeros, which is the hex code for the black color. Also, I want to round these edges because you will see these are very sharp. So select it, and in the corner radius, write a value of 80. Perfect. So now it is rounded and it is looking better. Now the next thing that I'm going to do over here is I'm going to select it and provide it a border. So go to stroke, enable it. The border color is going to be white with 30% of the opacity, and the weight for this one is going to be 6. Actually 6 pixels. And here in the position, I'm going to make it outside so that the border is clearly visible. Let me show you that. As you can see, this is the border. Perfect. Now let me select it, Shift and 2. Alright, so we have our frame ready. Now we need to work on the background part first before putting the actual element on this frame. So for the background, first of all, I'm going to take a circle, drop it over here, lock it from here, so that if I change this height to, let's say, if I change it 1080 maybe, perfect, so pretty large, something like this. And now I will take it at the center so that I can get this dot. If I hold it and open it something like this, I will get the access to these two values. In the first one, I'm going to write 100, and in the second one, I'm going to write 50. Perfect. So I will get this donut shape over here. Now what I'm going to do over here is, since the circle is very large, I need to reduce down the size. So now I'm going to make it 900. Perfect. Now I also need to provide a color to this. So I'm going to select this primary color, which is the orange, coming from the resources. Now cross this, And now I'm going to place it over here just like this, so that half of its part will be visible and half of it will be not. And let me see if it is aligned at the center using this alignment tool, which is vertical centers. Perfect. So right now it is at the center. Now what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to select this one, go in the effects, switch to layer blur, and here in the value I'm going to write 1000. Perfect. In this way I will get this glare effect using the circle. So I think you got it. Now let me select it and then lock it. In this way, if I'm going to work over here, it will not interfere with my designing elements. Now the second thing is we need another similar circle over here. So for that, first of all, I'm going to unlock this one, select it, Ctrl D to make a copy, something like this. And now the dimensions are going to be changed and rest is going to be same. So here in the dimension, I'm going to write 400. And now since you will see, there is not much effect of the layer blur. So it means we need to adjust it. So here we are going to write a value of 670. And now the glare is properly visible. Let me move it. You will see better. So you can see the glare is moving. Perfect. So I'm going to place it over here. Perfect. Alright. So I think our background is ready, but it is important that we lock these two ellipses. Perfect. So now our background is completely ready. Now we need to start putting element on this frame. So for that, first of all, we are going to design the header. And this time we are going to take a frame for the proper navbar. And in the width, we are going to write 1440, which is also the width of this parent frame, 1440. Select this one. Since it is not at the center, so I'm going to align it at the center, then at the top. In this way, it will move over here. Perfect. Now the height for this one is going to be 100, and now I can lock it. Perfect. Now in the fill, I'm going to provide a color which is going to be 00 black, but with the opacity 20%. Why so? It is because I want to see this glare that is present in the parent frame. I want to see this behind this nav bar. Now due to an opacity, we are going to observe a problem later on and we are also going to solve it. But for now, it is okay. Now what I am going to do over here is, since I am going to put my elements, I need some guide. So I will select it, then go over here in the layout guide, switch to columns, and in the count I am going to write 16, and in the margin I am going to write 120. Around 70% of the things in the web designing are repetitive. You don't have to think for the new solution every time because the principles and the laws are already defined. That makes this job really easy. And if you know those principles and the laws, it will also become easy to come up with new ideas and new web designs. But how are you going to learn about those principles, the procedure, and the projects? Let me show you. So here I recently launched this course on Udemy, which has the holistic knowledge of web designing. As you can see, it covers everything from the Figma basics, UI UX principles, to advanced something like 3D websites, web designing using AI, freelance. And my planning is to expand it even more. I'm going to add Wix, Framer, Webflow, and everything that is required in this domain of web designing right in this one course. So if you purchase once, you will get the benefit for the lifetime. So this is a great deal. You must not skip it. So use the link in the description and enroll in this course. I'll be waiting for you. Now let's go back to Figma. So I was saying 70% of the things are repetitive and these grid lines are the same. Now these grid lines that have appeared over here are going to guide me throughout the process of designing. Well, right now their color is set to red. That is why it is not very much visible. What you can do is you can make them FF white color so they will be properly visible. Perfect. Now let me cross it. Alright, so we have the navbar, we have the structure and everything ready. Now we can start putting the element over here. So the first element is going to be the site name. So let's zoom in over here. Take a text, drop it over here and write U blobs. Select it and the font size is going to be 32. Let's say, yeah, perfect. And this is going to be medium. Align it at the middle and now you will find why I'm using these layout guides. So I'm going to align this text using these white bars. Perfect. So it is completely aligned. Alright. Now to make a difference, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this U and give this orange color, which is our primary color. Perfect. So our site name is ready. It is minimalistic and also looking very great. Now the second element that we need to put in the nav bar are the nav links. So for that, let's zoom in over here, take a text, drop it inside this nav bar and write home. Then hit Ctrl D to make a copy. And here in the second one, write community with double M. Perfect. Ctrl D again. Write about. Ctrl D once again for the last one, which is contact. Perfect. Now I'm going to select all of them using Shift. Perfect. And here I'm going to change their appearance first. So first of all, I'm going to change the font size, which is going to be 20 with medium font weight. And let's take a color of 70% of the opacity. Perfect. And now I'm going to use this icon, or what I can do is I can hit Shift and A to provide auto layout. So use Shift and A. Perfect. So now they are contained inside a frame, as you can see over here. Perfect. The gap between them is going to be 70. Perfect. And this is going to be aligned at the middle. Then at the center as well. Perfect. Now I'm going to select this home and give this primary color, since the hero section is always present on the landing page, which is also known as home page. Perfect. So we have everything ready over here, but we need a button over here as well. So let's zoom in. Take a text, drop it over here, write sign up. Perfect. Then use Shift and A to provide an auto layout, something like this. And for the padding, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write 26 in the horizontal. For the vertical, I'm going to write 16. And since the auto layout is not visible, so I'm going to fill it with a color. And the opacity is going to be 5%, pretty less. The corner radius is going to be full. It means I need a large value, larger than these two values, which is the width and the height. So here I'm going to write 200. In this way, a rounded corner will be given. Perfect. Go to stroke, enable it, write FF, weight is going to be 2 and the opacity is going to be 30%. Perfect. But I think we can also provide an arrow over here and it will look even better. So right click on the canvas, go to plugins, then Iconify. If you do not find it, go to manage plugins and write Iconify. Select this one, view details and then run it. Now here search for right arrow. Then select this one, which is the broken arrow. Drop it on the canvas, cross this, change its color to white using this selection color. Now cut it from there, select your button and paste it inside that. Select the button. The gap is 10, this gap. I need around 8. Perfect. Let me place it at the middle and align it with the white bar. Perfect. Let's see. Yep. Alright, so our nav bar is perfectly ready. Now we need to work on the hero text over here, which is also going to be pretty simple. Let me show you how. So for that, I'm going to take a text element first, drop it over here and write content generation for selected, and here in the font size write 42 with regular font weight. Ctrl D to make a copy, select it, change the font size to 104 with medium font weight, and this is not going to be this large. So write here your socials with a dot. Perfect. Now select path. Let's see the gap. It is 0. Let's provide -4. Alright, perfect. And place it over here. Perfect. So as you can see, this is looking great, but I think we can push it down even more. Perfect now. But if I leave it like this, it will look boring because all the white text, no colors, it will not interest the user very much. So I need to select the socials and give it a different color, which is going to be the primary color. Perfect. So you should not be arbitrarily choosing the color for the text. Always highlight the piece of text that is very important and that needs to be highlighted. Alright. Now I need a small description over here. For that, I will go to a website which is loremipsum.io. Now I'm going to select this much of the text till sed do. Copy that. This is just a dummy text. Go back to design, take a text, drop it over here, drop the text, select it, change the font size to 20 with light font weight, and the opacity is going to be 60%, pretty less, and place it over here. Now let me tell you a beginner mistake. I have seen beginner putting a lot of text over here. They literally write a whole paragraph over here. Nobody is going to read your paragraph on the hero section. The only job of the hero section is to hook the user on your website and to encourage them to scroll more and know about your services. So they don't have much time to read about your services. And in the modern website, you will find this trend that they use one-liner or two-liner in the description. So you must always follow that rule. Alright, this is perfect. Now I'm going to select this button, Ctrl D, since I need CTA button over here, which is call to action. Put it over here. Perfect. Now we need to change its styling. For that, first of all, I'm going to zoom in over here. Then in the fill, I'm going to provide the primary color with 100% of the opacity. Perfect. Now the stroke is going to be removed because I don't want that. And now here I'm going to write a different text, which is going to be get started. Perfect. And the arrow is going to be over here. Now let me select it once again, but first let me align it. Perfect. Ctrl D again. Place it over here. Or maybe over here. No, this is too much of the gap. Let me select path. The gap is 25. Let's take 24. Perfect. 24. Now I'm going to select it. Change this fill to white and this to 5%. Provide a stroke again of white color. The weight is going to be 1 this time, and this is going to be 30%. and I don't need this arrow, so delete it. But I also need to change this text to our pricing. Perfect. Alright, so button is also created, but I see a lot of gap over here. So let me select it once and remove the layout guide so that I can fix it. Push this one up, something like this. Select these two, put them in auto layout so that they will be contained in one frame. And now I can move them a bit up. Perfect. So now it is looking better, as you can see. Now select it, re-enable our layout guide. Perfect. Select again, Shift and 2. Alright. Now we can provide a crown text over here. Let me show you that. Drop a text element over here, zoom in, and write 4.7 plus overall global rating. Perfect. And here we are going to make its size to 18, and this is going to be medium. Right click, add auto layout. The horizontal padding is going to be 12. The vertical one is going to be 8. Perfect. Provide it a stroke of white color with the opacity of 30%. Perfect. And the corner radius is going to be, let's say 100, because we need full corner radius. And now over here in the text, let me select that. So here in the starting, I'm going to hit Windows and dot key. And now I'm going to insert an emoji of a star. This one. Cross it, provide a gap, and then place this one over here with the perfect alignment. Let's see. We can move it a bit down. Alright, so this is looking perfect. Now the major elements are done. We can remove this layout guide and continue working. So select it, remove it. Perfect. So this is how it is looking. But I think we can also provide this one a fill color. So in the fill, here let's take 5% again. Yep, so you will see a small blurriness over here. Yep, perfect, it is right. So now we need those company logos over here. But first we must prepare the frame for it. So take a frame, drop it over here, and in the width write 1580, and in the height let's take it 100 and then lock it. And now what we can do is, let's go to fill, provide it a fill color of 1.4, which is a variant of a black color, and this one is going to be of 20% opacity. So it will be quite invisible but still visible. Now we will go to effects, and here we are going to go to the background blur, and in this value we are going to provide 22. Perfect. And let's cross this. Alright, so this is created over here, and what we can do is we can also provide it some rotation, but first let me place it at the middle, something like this, and give it a rotation of minus 10 degrees, something like this. Now I can go to resources and get my logos over here. So close this one, go to resources, copy this one, go to desktop again, select this frame and drop my logos. Perfect. Now let me also provide it minus 10% of the rotation so that they will be clearly aligned. Place it at the middle. Alright, but now it has this black background which I need to remove. So I can remove it from here. Just remove that. Perfect. So one bar is created, but now I need another one over here, something like this. So let me select this one, Ctrl D, and rotate it something like this. And this one is going to have 6% of the angle, or I must say 6 degrees. Perfect. Let me put it down. Alright, so this is right. Now you will see we provided it background blur. That is why this logo, which is the Y Combinator's logo, is fading behind this frame, which is amazing. Perfect. In this way, you can enhance or save the readability of your text. But I can see this is not center aligned. Let me align it with this one. Perfect. Alright, so this is done. Now what I think is we can do something more over here. So let's take a rectangle, drop it over here, lock it, change the dimension to 540, let's say. Perfect. Provide it a color of white with the opacity of, let's say, 5%. Alright, this is looking great so far. And the rotation is going to be -36. Perfect. Now I can place it over here, something like this. Yep, so the X value is going to be -80 and this Y value is going to be -380, something like that. Alright, we need another square over here. So for that, make a copy, Ctrl D, place this one right under here. Yep, perfect. So this is looking better. Now what we need to do over here is we need to animate that picture over here. So for that, let's close this, take out that picture, go to resources, take this picture, Ctrl C for the copy, and here I'm going to paste it since I need to animate it first. Now I'm going to right click and then use the frame selection. In this way it will be contained in a frame. So this image is contained inside a frame now, and I can rename this to default. Alright, now I will make one more copy of this frame, place it over here, and let's rename this to rotated. Perfect. Now for this one, the picture, I have selected the picture, and one thing that you have to note over here, and that is the image name should be same in both the frame. The frame name, which is default and rotated, can be different, but the element that is being animated should have the same name. In my case, it is image 163, and I have the exact name over here in the rotated one. Perfect. So I think you got that. If you don't do this right, it will not move. Perfect. So now I have selected the picture, and in the rotation, I'm going to write a value of 120. Perfect. So it will be rotated something like this. Now what I can do is I can select this frame, which is default, and this rotated. Now please pay attention. I have selected the default and the rotated frames, not the pictures. As you can see over here, the rotated frame and the default frame. Then I will go beside this icon, which is little chevron, down chevron actually. Click over here and then use this option, which is create component set. Perfect. In this way, a component will be created. Now what is a component? Well, component creates a universal element for all your child elements. So if the parent element changes, the child element will also change. Here we are utilizing it for the prototyping. So the first state is the default one, which is over here, and second state is this rotated one. Now we can go to prototype and then select this first one. Now if you select this one, and if you are on the prototype, you will get this little dot over here on the frame. And if you drag it out, you will find this noodle. This string is called noodle in Figma. Place it over here, something like this. Well, not on the picture, but on the frame. So let me delete this one and place this one over here to the frame, not the picture. The trigger is going to be mouse enter, something like this. Perfect. You can also add the delay, but I'm not going to do that. And the animation is going to be smart animate with ease in and out back. Perfect. And the duration is going to be 3600 milliseconds, which is around 3.6 seconds. Perfect. Alright, this is done. But if I see this animation right now, let me show you that. So if I select this one and hold the Alt key and take out an instance, well, if you are finding this hard, this method of taking out an instance, what you can do is you can go to Assets, then over here, one component. Then you have the component over here as well. Select it and then use the Insert Instance. In this way, same instance will be created over here. Now let me delete this one and switch back to File. Select this one and give it a starting flow point. Now let's see how it looks. So this little window over here is going to tell me how your animation is going to look like. So if I move my cursor, you will see this is how it is moving. But if I take out my cursor, it is not going back to its original position, which I don't want. So we need to fix this. So cross it. Now select this frame this time and move this back to the first one. And this time the trigger is going to be mouse leave and everything else is going to be same. Smart animate, ease in and out back, duration 3600 milliseconds. Perfect. And now if I see that, my cursor is moving and it is moving as well. My cursor is leaving and it is restoring to its original position. Perfect. Cross it. Alright, so it means I can remove this flow from here. So take it out and leave it and it will be gone. And I can select this one, cut it, then select the desktop, place it over here, and I think we should increase the size a bit. So go to design, lock it first, and in the height I'm going to write 1200. Perfect. Align it at the middle, then towards the right, something like this. Yep, perfect. Yeah, perfect now. And now I'm going to send it to back by using right click. So send to back. Perfect. And now it has been sent completely at the back. But I want this one to appear over these ellipse because this is the highlighting part of this hero section. Perfect. And one more thing, we have few fixes over here. So let me do that quickly. Select it, Shift and 2. Perfect. So the first fix is you will find the navbar is not very much visible over here and this image is interfering over here. So it means we need to do something. So let me select it, go to Effects, switch to Background Blur, and in the blur write a value of 12. Perfect. So in this way, anything behind this navbar will be blurred out and it will give a better readability to this button and the element of the navbar. So you must always keep small things in mind as a designer when it comes to designing a better user experience. Perfect. Now the second fix that we can do over here is with this one. You will find these two are looking same. Well, if they are looking same, why are we repeating it? We should have only one. But there is a reason. I'm going to select this one, right click, then send to back. Perfect. Now the second step that I'm going to do over here is I'm going to provide it a layer blur as well. It has been provided the background blur. I'm going to add another effect using this plus icon and switch to layer blur, and the value for this one is going to be, let's say, 10. In this way, this second one will become the shadow of this one, which will highlight these company logos even more. Perfect. So this is how you solve small problems. And I think I have got one more problem, which is this spacing. So let me select them, send to back, select this one, send to back. Now select this one, reduce the gap. Perfect. So now I think the desktop hero section is perfectly ready. And now we are also ready to see this in action. So let's select this one, then use this play icon, and it will load it over here. Perfect. So it is over here. Now if I take this cursor and move it over here, it will start moving. But if I take out my cursor, it will restore its position. So it means we have achieved the goal of this video. And I think you also have made it along with me. And if you have done it, consider sending it to our Telegram group. If you do that, we, the community of 1500 designers, will provide you the real-time feedback on your designs so that you can improve. And one more thing, if you want to advance in your career, consider joining this course, which is going to provide you immense value in your career. With this one, I think now it's time to say goodbye. We will meet in the next one.